Is Walmart a good company to work for? In this video, we're going to be looking at the different inputs and variables that we typically recommend when it comes to vetting out an opportunity at a company. In this case, we're going to be looking at Walmart and putting it through the lens of resume appeal, which is how does the future you benefit from working at the company today, and does a future employer, say 5-10 years down the road, look back at your tenure at a certain company, in this case Walmart, and say, that's a net positive for you, that's a great brand. We're going to be looking at different things like benefits. We're going to be looking at the stock price to get kind of what the markets think of the company on the whole, and just get a real sense of an employment opportunity through the lens of our, or the way that we look at it at Employment Boost. So a little bit of background, of course. Walmart was founded in 1962. It is the world's largest company by revenue, and then it's the second largest private employer in the world. It has something like 2.2 million workers globally. So here's a company that has a global footprint. I mean, there are Walmarts and its subsidiaries all over the world. And if that's the kind of organization that you like to work in, one with a massive org chart and opportunities globally, then Walmart definitely fits the bill. A few of the different companies that fall under the Walmart brand are Walmart Labs, and of course the Walmart stores, the superstores that you see everywhere across the US at least. We've got Amigos Supermarkets, Sam's Club is also a Walmart company, Jet.com, if we remember that acquisition a few years ago, Bare Necessities, Bonobos, Moose Jaw, Shoes.com. So you've got a very diversified portfolio of different brands that sit under the Walmart kind of umbrella. Not all of them will have active opportunities. I mean, a Jet.com acquisition will have been just an e-commerce play for Walmart to bolster up their capabilities there. But in terms of opportunities from an org chart size standpoint, and then of course just the diversity of different places that you can work in an organization this large, Walmart's definitely up there as the largest private employer in the world. But bear in mind as you're making a decision around whether to work at Walmart, do you like organizations that are huge? Do you like to be able to navigate org charts, and do you like to play that game? And so if so, Walmart's definitely fits the bill. So in terms of just understanding the products and services that Walmart, at least the flagship brand, plays or plays in that world, we all know that it's grocery, it's kind of lifestyle goods, it's household goods, it's really anything that you would need. And I mean, the legendary now tagline is everyday low prices. So that's the kind of products and services. So if you've got a background in that area, or if that's an area that you want to go into, then Walmart fits the bill. But it's just good to understand, when you're vetting an opportunity, understand what services and products the company sells, and the homepage for Walmart is a good place to do that. Once we've taken a look at what the company does, the next good place to go is their careers portal. For Walmart, at least in my experience, I had to go back to Google and find the careers portal. I couldn't find it through the homepage, but if you can find it, shoot me a comment below to let me know how you did it. But here's the careers portal. It's very robust, as you would expect with a company this size, and it really showcases the breadth of opportunity that's available at a company like Walmart. I mean, just here with this slider, you've got stores and clubs, corporate, healthcare, technology, distribution, fulfillment, and drivers. So across the entire company and across all sorts of functions, you seem to have opportunities available if going to Walmart is something that you want to do. The site, of course, looks clean in terms of what you would look for in a job seeker. You want to see a certain level of professionalism on the candidate experience side, because if they take that seriously, then chances are they'll take just the general employee experience seriously. So this looks all excellent, and you can learn a little bit about their culture, about their commitment to U.S. manufacturing, diversity and inclusion, education benefit. This is all stuff that we're going to be diving into just shortly. But just to get a general sense of the things that they find important, which would go on the homepage, or at least the front page of the careers portal, this is where you want to start. So let's go ahead and dive into the next aspect, which would be the values section of the website, of the careers portal. And right away, you get a sense that the company is really focused on culture. Culture is the foundation of everything we do at Walmart. We define culture as our values in action. It's how we deliver superior customer service, create a great frontline work environment, and improve performance in order to achieve our common purpose of saving people money so they can live better. So you get to kind of see how they tie in a lot of their external messaging around everyday low prices with the values that you need on the back end, on the staff side. So that's nice to see up front and center. And on this page, we get to see a little bit more about their values, their aspirations for 2025, which is really nice to look at as you're vetting an opportunities of progress. This is a great page, a great kind of deep dive into whether, as a job seeker, whether you jive with at least the values of an organization. So, as you're applying, or if you have an opportunity to apply for a position at Walmart, then definitely take a look at this values page to make sure that you're aligned with the organization. Because that's typically what leads to long-term happiness. So that's excellent, nice to see there. The next initiative, of course, we saw on the homepage, or at least the homepage of the careers portal, was their U.S. manufacturing initiative, or their focus on that. Really interesting to see. I think it really speaks to, of course, an American audience, a U.S.-based audience, and not something that you see a lot in terms of what a company will put front and center as one of their main kind of drivers. You'll see a lot around ESG initiatives, rightly so, and diversity, rightly so. But oftentimes, I guess a lot of the time, some companies aren't really positioned to focus on U.S. manufacturing. But as a company with the kind of power that Walmart has in terms of how big it is, and then also its focus on the kinds of workers that it's looking to attract across the entirety of the U.S., focusing on the U.S. manufacturing is really interesting, and something that I found quite interesting as I was looking through this. So at Walmart and Sam's Club, we believe in making a difference on the issues our customers and communities care about. We believe we can create more American jobs by supporting more American manufacturing. Great statement, and if that's something that you're passionate about as an employee, this is one of the few examples, at least at this scale of company, where we're seeing that. So this is fantastic. The American Manufacturing Initiative here, supporting U.S. jobs. Really great kind of call to action on that front. So really interesting, really interesting there. The next thing to look at, of course, would be the next section on the careers portal page. This is a little bit more about kind of diversity, bring your whole self to work. So we're seeing more and more that as job seekers and as workers, that work is being viewed more than like the traditional kind of you clock in at 9, you clock out at 5 kind of thing. Really more is expected of an employer today than it ever has been, and so it's important that you as a job seeker can get the information that you need around what the employee feels, or the employer feels around that area. And so this is a great area to take a look at as a job seeker. Diversity, inclusion, bring your whole self to work. It looks like Walmart does a nice job, at least on the D&I and then Human Rights Campaign Corporate Equality Index. So some great scores there. I'm sure seeing 50 here out of 50. So if they're ranked 50th out of 50, then I'm sure there's probably an initiative internally for them to try and improve that on the diversity side. So I'd be interested to learn about that if I was going through an interview to ask a little bit about that. Here's a little bit about pride. There's another call out of how many associates they have globally. 2.2 million. So the different resources and groups that you can access as a Walmart employee. So really great page. I think Walmart's been very thoughtful about how they've presented the employee experience and what they're looking for and the different things available to job seekers. So a really nicely executed careers portal, and one that as you're vetting an opportunity with Walmart or thinking about maybe whether Walmart is a good company for you to work for, an area that you should definitely take a look at a little bit more closely as you vet an opportunity. All right, so the next thing is the benefits, and that was the next area on the careers portal. I'm not going to dive too deep into the exact benefits that Walmart has, but just not a lot of companies actually have a dedicated portal to the benefits that they offer. It takes quite a thoughtful and resource capable organization to do that. So this is where you would learn about how many different benefits and perks and different things that they have on offer, and just see if it fits to what you'd be interested in or what you need from an employer. I mean, it looks very robust. They seem to have everything that you would need to look for: your health plans, your PTOs, your LOAs. So very robust, something to definitely look into. 401k. This is a publicly listed company too, so I'm sure there's stuff around that you can tap into. Really great, really well executed, and very, very thoughtfully done. And the next one, of course, would be this education benefit. There was another area on that careers area that you could click on to get to here. Another kind of great employer brand play, especially when you think about it as a job seeker. We hit on it earlier, and it's a common trend, but us as workers, we're expecting more and more out of organizations now, and so it's great to see companies with the resources, with the balance sheets, like a Walmart, biggest employer in the world, to really kind of cater to where their millions of employees want to get to in their lives, and then providing an education benefit is a nice way to go. So if the robust benefits package and then an education benefit is what you're looking for, I think Walmart's set up quite nicely for you to take advantage of those things. So that's good to learn about as you go through there. So, all right, so we've covered the website, we've covered the benefit structure, we've covered the values and different things that Walmart is messaging out to a job seeker to gauge whether, at least on a kind of high level, whether Walmart's a good employer for us, for me. And so the next thing to look at is just a couple of the what we call technicals, and it's really to just gauge, dive a little bit deeper into the culture of the organization. The first is to look at LinkedIn. And we like to look at LinkedIn when we're vetting an opportunity, just to get a sense of how active they are in terms of posting and things. You get to get a sense of how seriously they take, their social footprint. But an important thing to learn through the LinkedIn page is tenure. And Walmart here, 4.3 year median tenure is very solid, especially when you consider how big this company is. So that speaks probably to something about loyalty and people feel happy enough to stay quite a while. So 4.3 is quite well above average, actually. So that's not bad at all. And then if you think about the macroeconomic environment over the last 18 months or so, with turnover, with the Great Resignation, that phenomenon that's been in the news a lot, to grow your headcount 5% over the last 6 months is very solid. So here's an organization that I think, just leaning on what we talked about earlier, which is how robust the benefit structure is and all that stuff, that it looks like a solid place to invest a career, and it looks like people are doing that. So that's not a bad bit of information there. The next thing that we want to look at is Instagram, and we look at really social media from two lenses. One is to see if we can get a sense of what the employee experience is like for us as job seekers and things like that. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is to see if the company is using their social media as a way to signal to the market the values that they're attaching themselves to, and then you can foot your own personal values to whether that aligns or not. So in doing our research on this video, Walmart has two Instagrams. One is the at Walmart, so that's probably the consumer facing Instagram. And this is a great page, 2.6 million followers here. That's just kind of fun and showcases a little bit of a different, a different aesthetic around Walmart, which is great. This is where you can learn a little bit about their products and services and things like that. The second profile that we found for Walmart is their Walmart World handle, and this is what looks like they focus on really the employee experience and showcasing some of the stories around what it's like to work at Walmart. So you've got great imagery and kind of a great place to learn more about what it's like to work there. Here's an example where they're celebrating somebody's 50th year at Walmart. So it's always fun to see big brands have pages like this, because you really do get a sense of pulling the curtain back a little bit, and seeing what it's like to work there. So this is fun, a great place, I think, when you're doing your due diligence to see whether Walmart fits to what you want to achieve in your career and the culture there too. So that looks all nice, and then no red flags. The next thing we like to look at, of course, is the news footprint. And this just gives a sense of whether the company that we're trying to get a gauge on is how it's viewed in the media, right? Does it have a positive slant or a negative skew? For all intents and purposes, I mean, Walmart is such a big company that they're going to get so much media. You're going to see tons of different kinds of stories. But as long as we're seeing, generally positive stories and nothing that calls out, an issue around workplace, culture and then those kinds of things, then I think, it's pretty safe. So no real red flags at this point in time around their news coverage and how they're portrayed in the media. And that should stand the company in good stead from a resume appeal standpoint for you going forward. As you think about, the future you, the 10 year, 15 years down the road, whether you get a net positive benefit from working at a company today. The next thing we like to look at, of course, is the stock price. And this really is for no more than just to get a sense of how the market views a company and its outlook. And you get a sense, especially with publicly listed companies, of what, if you do get, a chance to buy into different securities than what you can expect. Here's a generally kind of bottom left, top right chart for the last 5 years for Walmart. So read into that what you will in terms of risk and things, but it's good to just take a look at a company's stock price, especially when they're publicly listed, to get a sense of general sentiment around the company before you make a decision around your employment. So that's at least from a fundamental kind of what a chart you'd want a chart to look like. That's pretty good there. So we've kind of covered what the company's about, a little bit about the background of Walmart. We've covered the culture, the benefits, their initiatives around U.S. manufacturing, around diversity, the values of the company. We've looked at their social media to take a look at kind of the values that they're attaching themselves to. We saw that Walmart has 2 Instagrams, one that's consumer facing, one that's employee facing, which is great as a job seeker as you're making your decision. We looked at median tenure being very high or above average for Walmart, and so that should definitely kind of go into your equation as you're making a decision around whether Walmart is good for you as an employee. We looked at the general sentiment around the news and then general sentiment around the stock price to get a sense of what the market thinks. So it's good to remember, Walmart here is one of the biggest companies in the world, one of the largest employee base in the world. If working at a large publicly listed company that really caters to people's day-to-day needs in terms of grocery and those kind of things, if that's the kind of company that you want to work for, then maybe Walmart is a great opportunity for you.